Hi, I'm Kirsten Anderson, and we recently stopped by the studio of Amsterdam painter Chris Berens. We decided we want to talk to him a little bit about what drives his incredible narratives, as well as his extremely unusual technical process. Here's what he had to say about it.
I studied illustration, so I didn't really study any techniques or actual art. So I learned painting. I learned how to paint by painting over prints of the old masters like Rembrandt.
Oh, interesting. I want to talk about your technique a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, they look so digital, or like they're from photographs, but they have this fuzzy, soft focus look.
Yeah.
And how do you do that?
It's all ink. I don't use any paint. So ink is very transparent. Painted on printing paper, so it's really on a layer of plastic, and the paper is on the back. So there's no structure of the paper. It's very smooth, and because it's ink, you can when you make it wet, once it's dry, you can do anything you like with it. For example, this is wet. It's still kind of wet, and I can just adjust it. I can push back the ink, right? And it takes like a couple of days before it's dry, so I can always push it back again, and I can do anything I want with it. Tomorrow it's going to be almost finished, so I can actually do it with my fingers, and so I can take this out, not yet because it's too wet, but I can take this out and push it up. And when it's almost dry, I take it to the blow dryer, and I just it makes the plastic really hot, and then it sinks into the plastic, and it just blurs out a bit. So any brush strokes you see right now will disappear. I cut out a little piece of the plastic, and it's transparent when I take off the paper. So I paint these are similar faces, and I paint them like 5 or 10 or 15 times, and I just glue them on top of each other. So if there's any brush strokes left, they will disappear, because it's like this semi-transparent piece of plastic, and you see the like a silhouette of the same face underneath. So it has this kind of depth in it.
Wow.
So there's actually a lot of pieces of plastic that you look through, but you don't really see that. You just get the image.
Wow.
It's labor intensive, but not as much as you think. I guess, because you see all the eventually when a painting is finished, you see all the good parts. Like it's the whole painting is there. It's flawless, but it's not, because it's ink. You can there are some good parts in the each sheet has a good part, but because it's ink, it can be very smooth, but sometimes it has to break, it has to stop, and that's always at the edges of the ink. It just you see where it dries up, and
Right.
so I just don't use the edges. I take the good part out, and I skip the part where it goes wrong.
Didn't work. Yeah.
So
I see what you're
eventually
saying.
it looks good,
Right.
but underneath is a lot of crap.
Yeah. I mean, how do you feel that someone like me might come along and go, you know, have such a reaction to it and have their own, you know, interpretation of what they think you're saying in the painting.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have any messages, or I don't want people to think anything really. It just
Just have more of an emotional reaction to it.
yeah,
or?
that's the way I paint them. So if I want them to do anything, it's that. Because I paint them from a kind of a gut feeling or a distant memory of something I don't really know what it is. So any story is better than mine.
Yeah.
I'm not a real painter or an artist. I don't consider myself that. There's some images, a lot of images I want to show, and for now, painting is the way to do that.